After seeing Tammy Faye, the biographical musical about the late American evangelist Tammy Faye Messner, her son, Jay Bakker, hopped on a video call with Elton John, who wrote the music for it. Jay, 48, recalled in an exclusive interview with People with the Candle in the Wind singer, 77, asked him on that call, and he revealed what he thinks of the stage production about his famous mother's life as a traveling preacher's wife to his dad, Jim Bakker. Elton was like, "Have I caught your mom's spirit?" And I was like, yeah, you did. Jay, a pastor and author, told POPL at an October 2 dress rehearsal in New York City before Tammy Faye's October 19 Broadway debut. Jay likened seeing the Broadway musical to getting hit by a freight train. "It's like having all your trauma in a musical," he explained. "Almost like, here's some mushrooms. Let's relive the trauma. It's surreal. There's times I almost wanted to raise my hand. And then I was like, I can't. This is not an interactive play." All in all, Jay said music writer John, lyric writer Jake Shears, book writer James Graham, and the cast did well telling the story about his mom, who died in 2007 at age 65 after a long stint with cancer. "They did a great job, and it really seems to celebrate my mother's life," Jay said. "They had to use broad strokes. You're talking 20-some-odd years of ministry and 15, 20 years after that. They really captured my mom's spirit. It's more like Elton John saying, 'I want to tell the world that this is a good woman.' And you get to see the humanity of my father more in it," Jay added. "My dad was a workaholic, and they really capture that." Tammy Faye originally premiered in London's West End in 2022. For the October 19 Broadway debut, November 14 opening night, and subsequent shows at the Palace Theatre, Katie Brabin will reprise her West End role of Tammy, for which she won Best Actress at the Olivier Awards in 2023. Joining Brabin will be two-time Tony Award winner Christian Borle as Jim, who Tammy divorced in 1992, and two-time Tony Award winner Michael Cerveris as Reverend Jerry Falwell in the Rupert Gold-directed musical. At the dress rehearsal earlier this month, Jay shared a story about his mom people might not know, as well as an anecdote about Jessica Chastain, who portrayed his mom in the 2021 film The Eyes of Tammy Faye. "My parents weren't fancy. Me and my mom would go to Pizza Hut and places like that before my mom died. Her favorite place was Applebee's," Jay remembered. Jessica Chastain did this Tammy Faye fundraiser, and it was at this really nice restaurant. "I'm like, you should probably take it down a few 100 notches." Jay also recalled how his mom never really met an enemy. When people came up to her to say mean things, you might see her wince for like a second, and then she'd be like, "But you don't know me, honey. Let me introduce myself. I'm Tammy," he said. So she had this real rare quality of loving people, almost like a nonviolence like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. type of thing where misinformation is my enemy, not people, Jay continued. And I was always blown away by that because as a teenager, I wanted to fight half those people. Asked what his mom would think of Tammy Faye and her resurgence in pop culture in general, Jay guessed she would be grateful. "I think she would be excited about it," he said, noting that she likely have notes on the tone of certain scenes. "But for the most part, I think she would be grateful. You don't get to choose what happens to our legacy. And for me, for her, it's total redemption." Tickets to see Tammy Faye can be purchased here.